Hello, this video will show you how to create and use the form views using Spark Forms Builder. We will see together how it's easy creating multi-views for your forms, and how to use them to create form paging or build wizard forms, or provide more data and information. In order to split the large complex forms and simplify them, you can create a default view for each state of the form: New, Edit, Display. And you will be able to customize the top ribbon buttons of the form for each view by hiding or showing the buttons as desired. Let's first see how to split the employee profile form into multi-views form. From the list at the top, click on Spark Forms Builder to open the canvas to design the form. As we see here, we are in the default view, the main view. Now we are going to add the forms control that we want to display in this view, and then create the other views. I am going to add the forms controls quickly now. If you are interested in how to customize the design for the form in detail, you can watch the tutorial video listed in the description below. Okay, this view is ready. Now we are going to create a new view for the address details. From Views in the top ribbon, click on the New. Type the view name. Then click on OK. As we see here, we have a new blank view. And we want now to add the forms controls to it. You can copy controls from the main view and use them in your new view. Let's copy the header from the main view and edit it. Back to the main view. Copy the header and paste it into the address view. Then modify the label title properties. And here it is. We can do the same for the other labels that we want to use in the view. And just add the related list columns for the address view. And the second view will be done. In the same way, I have created the job details view. Let's now see how our form looks now. From the top ribbon, click on Preview. As we see here, this is the main view. And you can switch between the form views from the top ribbon. We can also switch between the form views by using custom buttons in the form itself. Let's see how. I am going to add the next and back buttons to switch between the views. From the Toolbox panel, under Functions, Spark Forms provides us special functions for the views. We are going to use Open Form View. This function is ready to use to show the form view. Drag and drop the Open Form View function. This function will add a button control and its rules. So modify the control properties. And from the top ribbon, let's modify the control rule. As we see here, there is an existing rule, which created by the function. Just modify the view name and type the view name that we want to open. Then click on Save. We are going to repeat the same steps for the back button. Let's preview the form now, and see how it works. As we see here, we can move between the form views by the next and back buttons. At the same time, we can switch between the views from the top ribbon. But if you want to switch only by the custom buttons, you can turn off the Views button at the ribbon from the form properly. That's not only, but you can also able to show a form view in a pop-up dialog. This is very efficient for cases in which you need to keep all the information and details on one page. Let's create a note view and display it. In the main view is a pop-up dialog. From Views in the top ribbon, click on the New. Type view name. Then click on OK. Add in it the header and no text box. Back to the main view. From the Toolbox panel, under Functions, drag and drop the Show Form View pop-up dialog. Modify the button control properties. Again, from the top ribbon, we are going to modify the control rule. As we see here, we need just to update the parameters value. Type view name, dialog title, height, width. Then click on Save. Let's now publish the form and see how it works, and how it saves all the data together in the SharePoint list from all the views. Let's get back to our list. Click on New. Let's enter the data quickly. And then click on Submit. As we see here, all the data have been saved in the list. Spark Forms provides us with another advanced feature, such that we can create a default view for each state of the form. If it is in a new mode, or in the edit, or the display modes. To set the default view for each state, as you see here from the form properties, you can select the view name for each state. For the new form I am going with the main view. And now we are going to create two views, one for the edit state, and the other for the display state. And this is optional, you can use any view you want or keep it as it is. First, we are going to create the edit profile view. Instead of creating it from scratch, you can duplicate it from any existing view. Here we are going to duplicate the main view. From Views in the top ribbon, click on Duplicate, and type the view name. Now we can customize the edit view, by applying any changes we want. I am going to disable all the controls, except the marital status, so we can update any time after entering the employee profile. Then from Form Properties, set the edit profile to the edit view. And for the display view, select the display profile view, which I had created previously. The same as we did for the edit profile view, I duplicate the main view and created the display view, then customized it by hiding the ID number for privacy as an example. Let's now publish the form, and see how it works in the edit and the display mode. Let's edit the item that we have here. As we see here, the edit view has been open. All the fields are disabled, except the marital status as we customize the view. Back to the list. If we want to display the item, the display profile view will open. As we see here, the ID number is hidden. And if we click on New, the main view will open. You are able also to customize the top ribbon buttons of the form, for each view by hiding or showing the buttons as desired. Back to the design mode. From Form Properties, under Show Ribbon Buttons, you can show or hide top ribbon buttons on each view. Select the view you want, and show or hide ribbon buttons as you want. I will hide them all except the Submit button in the main view. Let's now publish the form, and see how it works. The new form will display only the Submit button. But if you display the form, all the buttons will appear as you see here. You can remove the entire top ribbon if you want to focus on controlling the form through the custom buttons in the form itself. Back to the design mode. From Form Properties, switch off Show Ribbon. and the form will look like this. The performance of the form and its views is magnificent, as the data are distributed in the different locations, and there is no much consuming for the client and server machine's resources. This feature will also allow you to combine multiple lists and forms in one single form, and act as a centralized actions page for the site's users. Follow us to learn more about advances used for SharePoint and Spark forms. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and if you have a comment please write it down. Thank you.